Hello guys, this is our first video since the talk of the TikTok ban. So if you are new here from TikTok, we are so happy to have you here. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit over my postpartum. I will be 3 months officially next week, and I asked you guys to fill out some questions over on Instagram that will make it easier for me to talk about everything that I've experienced this time around, being my second time fully postpartum. What is the biggest difference in the jump from 1 to 2 kids? I feel like the biggest difference has been making sure to prioritize time for both, and I feel like every time I go to breastfeed Bentley, Asher needs me the most or wants me the most then. So it's been very challenging to figure that out, because I never want one to feel less or more than the other. So that has been kind of the biggest difference and the biggest jump. Asher has been so good though with Bentley. I feel like some toddlers aren't as good and well as adjusted to babies, but he's done really great. He just is a mama's boy as it is, so it's kind of made it harder. How was the transition from 1 to 2, pregnant with my second and terrified? Please do not be terrified. The whole pregnancy, when I was pregnant with Bentley, I was like, I hope Asher knows I love him just as much. I hope he knows when this baby gets here that he's going to be loved and literally have the same amount of time. And everything has went really well. We haven't had any problems or any complaints, other than when I'm holding Bentley and Asher wants me to, and he can't be right in my lap if I'm feeding him. It's been the hardest, but you've got this and you're going to be amazing at it. First time mama due in August. Give us all the details. Postpartum the first time around with Asher was really nice. Like I said in multiple videos before, I am not the biggest fan of being pregnant. I love having babies. I love creating babies, and I'm creating my own life with my kids. So I loved every bit of creating a baby, having it inside me, and then giving birth. It's just, pregnancy is so hard on me mentally and physically with being a type 1 diabetic. I get really bad baby blues and kind of signs of depression during pregnancy, and I had it with Asher too. And this time around, it wasn't as bad. It was more of just anxiety, of course, coming out of a miscarriage. Week by week is a milestone of getting there, closer and closer to meeting him. And at any point in the pregnancy, anything can go wrong, any mishaps. My biggest fear was delivering and him not making it, because just of many different things. But I would say having a good support system, having someone you can talk to about any of your pregnancy stuff without them judging you or telling you you shouldn't do that or you should have that, or reading my Bible every day and leaning on God, was one of the number one things that got me through it all. Above all, reading my Bible, trusting in God's plan, praying over it, instead of oh God, please let this happen, God, I want this, I want that, instead of just saying, God, it's in your hands, you do what you want to do with this pregnancy. I pray that you give me safety and that everything goes well. It's not as scary as I feel like it is. Most people say being a first-time mom. I love being a mom. In what ways has this one been different than my last one? With Asher postpartum, I didn't experience really anything after. I was just so happy to get my body back and have a baby. This time around, I don't know if it's from breastfeeding. I only pumped for a month with Asher, versus with Bentley, I'm breastfeeding and pumping nonstop. And it's been really hard on me mentally. I wouldn't want to say it's been depression, but I feel like it's definitely been anxiety or blues or stuff like that, where I get really down on myself sometimes, or if this whole dairy-free thing, if you didn't know, I've been doing dairy-free to help with his stomach breastfeeding, and it's helped so much. But I had a slip up and ate dairy, and he had an upset tummy the following days later, and it was just a very blaming myself type of situation. And it's just been really hard because his tummy is so gassy and stuff. And I don't know, just really sad, overstimulating at times for me. But I'm just so blessed I have a great husband that's there. He's got my back. When I'm overstimulated, he'll take the baby and give me a little bit of alone time. So that has been great. Where I think it could be the two, where if I don't have Bentley, I'm trying to make sure Asher's focused on and he's taken care of. Whereas when we had just Asher, I could step away by myself for a little bit, and I wouldn't have to worry about another kid. So I think that's a major part that plays with it too, is I need to be taking a moment for myself, because Christian can handle both boys, but I feel bad and I want to have one-on-one time with Asher. So instead of me taking a moment to just go decompress and get the stimulation out of me, I focus in on him, which is good, but I think I really need to work on stepping away from me, like taking a moment, like even if it's just 10 minutes to go breathe for myself. What did you do differently this time than last time? This time I gave it my all for breastfeeding. With Asher, I think I wasn't supplying enough, and I was just over it, and then he got colic, and it was just really, really mentally hard on me, and I didn't know things then that I know now, like what can cause a baby to be colic in your breast milk, or like things to do to avoid that, or diets that can help your baby feel better with breast milk. So that has been really good to know this time. I made sure to stay connected with a bunch of my mom friends that just went through postpartum so that they could feel the same level as I'm feeling. My best friend Abby had a baby a week before me, and that has been, oh my gosh, game changing to have someone to relate to on almost the same level of everything. She's doing dairy free too for her baby, so having that connection has been so good. I didn't rush into wanting to work out like I did with Asher. I'm focusing more on just eating whole foods, drinking water. I'm getting my steps in the house, running around everywhere with both kids. Just trying to really focus in on my mental health, decompress, breathe, and read my Bible. What to be prepared for a first-time mom? There's so much that happens, and I feel like any mom can give you their advice, but until you go through it and see it, you're not really gonna like understand it fully. But just to take deep breaths and know that in the beginning it is gonna be hard, and it's gonna be so worth it. But once you hit 3 months, I feel like everything just smooths out. Breastfeeding tips. My first journey wasn't successful, but I want to try again with my second. I love this because I can relate to it so much. With this time, I did, of course, Bentley did latch right away, so that was a very, very good plus. And he loves food, but not giving up. It took me, I heard someone say it takes up to 6 to 12 weeks for your milk supply to fully come in. Don't give up. A wall pump. I only used a portable pump when I was with Asher. I wasn't knowledgeable on like a wall pump is better than a portable. Didn't have anybody to really talk to about that or lean on to help me and guide me. And the hospital was a lot helpful. They were like, use the wall pump while you're here, but like when you go home, like you can use that one, but you're going to get more out with a wall pump. So my Spectra has helped me so much build up my supply, where I'm getting like an extra 5 to 6, maybe 10 ounces a day, which has been great. Body Armor, some people say it makes their babies gassy. It's up to you. Any hydration drink really helps a lot. Coconut water, coconut milk, upping your protein. I've been doing like the Booby protein shakes and like the Booby snack bars and their elderberry supplement things. There's many different options, but I will say fully fed, fully hydrated, and a lot of protein has helped me so much. Last time I just thought it'd come natural, and it can for some people, but some people I feel like have to work really hard for it in the beginning, and I feel like I worked really hard, and it's like preparing me. Also, this time around, I wasn't as stressed. I was like, if I can breastfeed, that's what I want. That's amazing. But if I can't, that's okay. Fed's best. Like I literally formula fed my other child for 12 months. If I have to feed this one formula, it's okay. I just really wanted to experience breastfeeding, and it has been truly amazing. So please just don't give up. Our middle of the night waking's easier this time. Yes and no, because when we had Asher, we did formula, so Christian would do night feedings and help me too, and he helps me as much as he can now. But with me breastfeeding, like I'm the milk, so I have to wake up every single time and feed him and like burp him and change him. And Christian, if I need him help, he'll wake up immediately, like change his diaper, help burp him or whatever's needed. But obviously I have the milk, so that's been a bit of a different change. Is that like I'm getting like maybe 3-hour stretches at a time instead of a full sleep. We've only had one full sleep through the night, and that was amazing. How's your mental health? It's been 50-50. I've had my good days, had my bad days, but overall it hasn't been that bad at all. It's just been, I get very overstimulated really easy. If like Asher's trying to get my attention and Bentley's screaming and like having a conversation with Christian, like lots of things overstimulate me. I think that's been the hardest. Did you find the transition from 0 to 1 or 1 to 2 harder? Both in different aspects. Like 0 to 1 was harder in like knowing what to do, how to prepare for things, if my baby's okay all the time, or if they need something. 1 to 2 was easier on knowing that stuff, but 1 to 2 was harder on maintaining like sleep and like taking care of both at the same time, whereas like when I just had one, it was just focused on one baby. But it was easier knowing everything to take care of the second baby to make it easier with having two, if that makes sense. How do you handle things when both boys want/need you? That is such a good question, because I feel like that is the most like thing that needs to be talked about when you go from 1 to 2, is balancing that. And like, I think when I'm breastfeeding Bentley and Asher really like is like wants me to do something or do that, I try to go to him with Bentley on me and help him with the situation. Now, like if he wants me to hold him or love on him, I try to put him in my lap, or just like let him know like, hey, like I'm feeding Bubby mommy's milk because this is what Bubby has to eat, whereas you like to eat like table food and things like that. And he's getting better and better on like understanding like mommy's gotta feed baby, or if baby's upset, like how to soothe him. So that has been really good, is just kind of like explaining to him, like showing him, but still like loving on him in those moments when he needs me. Pumping along with breastfeeding, please share. So I'm getting like 4 to 5 ounces in each side now. So, and he only eats about 3.5, 4, sometimes 5 depends on how hungry he is with his feeds, but he's a big snacker, so it's really hard to tell. But so in the mornings I wake up, he eats on one side because it's full, and then I pump on the other. And then we'll just go back and forth from pumping. I'll pump in the morning and then I pump at night. We usually do a bottle before bed, so it's easier for Christian to go ahead and get him down. I can go ahead and go to bed. So just when I feel I need to pump, I really pump. In the beginning, I would literally pump right after I'd feed him. Like I would try to get everything out. My Spectra has been the best thing for that. How has moving with a newborn and toddler been? This time around was a lot more chaotic than last time. The next time we move, we will definitely be hiring movers, because it was just a lot. And also we moved during like the holidays. That was another thing. And of course we had no choice but to move because our lease was up and we couldn't renew it. So it was a lot like at once. And our house is still not fully put together, and that's okay. How was the healing after labor? Love your videos. Oh, so sweet. I love that you're here and you love that. Healing this time, I think, was a little bit longer than last time. I didn't have as harsh of a tear, but it felt like it took my stitches longer to heal this time. I only had a 1.5 tear. Last time I had it 2, so wasn't bad at all. But I'm completely back to normal. Everything feels good, feels fine. I feel like I'm just now finding myself again, like it's just a lot. Having babies is a lot in general, and postpartum is even harder. What items are you using most for postpartum recovery and baby? For me, I literally just use pads and tucks things. I'm trying to think of items that we use every single day. We love our Mamaroo, that bassinet, and the swing. We love both. Every baby is different. Every baby likes different things. I think that has answered all of my postpartum things. I love you guys, and if you're here from TikTok, welcome to the fam, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.